So if you could just give us a sense of how Father Stan Swamy's friends and well-wishers are dealing with this loss right now.
How does one feel when an elder in the family dies? We are saddened, we are shocked, we are in a state of internal turmoil. But we have been anticipating it. It's a death foretold. We know that the government wanted him to die in jail. Technically, he died in a hospital, but he was still not on bail. He was still in judicial custody. And people like me start unraveling his death from that point. We will also celebrate Father Stan Swamy and his life and what he meant to us, what he meant to the country, to the Dalit people of the world. We'll do that too. But in a moment of grief, how can we forget that he could have been given bail? He could have been given medical attention 6 months ago, 9 months ago, soon after he was arrested. But the cold blooded, deliberate manner in which he was denied bail, and in the same manner in which Valvala Rao was denied bail, made it very clear to us and to the whole nation that a very vengeful government was hell bent on trying to teach him and through him and them in his colleagues who were arrested in the same Koregaon case a lesson that they will brook no dissent, they will brook no voice for the people, that they will not brook any opposition that comes in the way of their implementing the political and the economic agendas and the social agendas for that matter. So the main agenda, which covers everybody, is the issue of dissent, of listening to the government and saying, no, this we accept and this we don't accept. This is where you're wrong. This is where you must listen to us. And the government doesn't want to do that. I'm not blaming various agencies. Each one of them is guilty as hell. But each one of them is an institution that has been reduced to a hollow shell of itself in the last 7 years. So they are not acting of their own free will or of their intelligence from what they gather. They're acting only in obedience to a superior voice, to an all powerful voice. And therefore, it is not even the judiciary, the subordinate judiciary. It is certainly not the NIA and the CBI and the jail authorities. They will do what they're told. And what they've been told is to ensure that human dignity is denied these people, that they're denied the basic needs that they need. For a Parkinson diseased hand which shakes, the need for a sipper, the need for colleagues and for toilet facilities, the need to go and get yourself checked up when you have COVID to get the best medical attention you can. But these are not denied in a sort of abstract or casual manner. They're
Hello.
only denied in a
Hello.
cold-blooded, carefully chalked out, decided manner. Pre-decided, you could say. So to that extent, his death was foretold. An old 84-year-old man with Parkinson's disease, all sorts of other ailments, to be aggravated in the circumstances of a jail, to be aggravated further in the midst of 2 rounds of a pandemic called COVID. What could we expect? And when even the people, the criminals in the media and elsewhere who are given bail within 24 hours, and an old man is denied bail. So our pain, our shock is also tinged with an element of distaste, I should call it, an element of revulsion at the manner that the government and the state and the political leadership treated this man. And I must shame also the opposition that did not really speak out for these people. The former chief
Yes.
minister of Maharashtra put them in jail in spite of being orders, I presume. But the current political establishment in Maharashtra did not extend very much help. The larger political establishment included the bureaucracy, the judiciary, the Supreme Court have taken suo motu action scores of times in the last 8 months, and for Barbara even longer, and for Babu even longer. What is this government? What have we come to? Under what oppression are we living? Are we breathing? And this is not that American black man's thing, I can't breathe. This is not even the COVID attack on the lungs, I can't breathe. Here's the whole entire nation that can't breathe. By not a pandemic, by a revengeful government, by a leadership that is that's now serving, as far after grabbing all power in its hand, is now serving only the interests of its coterie and of its crony capital friends. Nobody else. Where is the justice?
Yes. So one thing that Father Joseph Xavier had said in a press conference a few days before Father Stan Swamy was hospitalized was about how Father Stan Swamy rarely ever complained. Like regardless of however he may be feeling in the moment, he always found a way to kind of not make a big deal out of it. So my question is, I mean, so clearly Father Stan Swamy was a very brave person, but could you tell us a little bit more about him? About
You
his
know,
qualities.
yeah, so you have to understand not just the man, but his growth from when he first joined the Jesuits. He's 84 years old. So he had been a Jesuit uh, more than 60 years, really. More than 60 years. He was a Jesuit. And that is in the nature of Jesuits. That's in their training. They work with the people. And most of them work outside the basic limits of the church. Some of them work as fathers and bishops, but most of them work with the people. And to quote Stan himself, he had gone out of the limits of the boundaries of the walls and the roof of the church to be with the people. He was a global voice for the tribals. And today, whether it's politics, whether it's sociology, whether it's economics, the issue of tribals is of paramount interest. They are in the forest. Under the forest, in the forest, is a resource. The forest itself is a resource. And that resource is sought to be taken away, to be sold out, to be given to crony capitals. Laws of the land, the ecology of the land, the laws framed to protect the ecology, the laws framed to ensure that forests remain forests, that the people in the forest earn their livelihood in the forest, have all been thrown to the winds, have not been implemented. You want to give a plot of land of a few thousand square miles to some mill, you give it. To some mile, you give it. You don't care what happens to the trees, what happens to the environment, what happens to the wild. You want to dig a mine, you can dig it, you can ruin the earth. The people can starve. The people don't want to starve. The people don't want to be the property stolen from them, their livelihood, the gods stolen from them. And people like Stanley, he was not alone. He was a towering personality, but he was not alone. People like him were giving a voice to them, and that is what made him an enemy of the state. That's what ensured that whatever excuse they found, if there were no Biregaon, Koregaon's case, they would have concocted some other case because they wanted to silence these voices. But they have not silenced Stan Swamy. They have not silenced his tongue. They have, in fact, ensured that his tongue becomes immortal and forever speaks. His blood will out. This murder by state will out. The man himself didn't want glory. The man himself didn't think of himself as a hero, as Jesus Christ. But he did think himself as a child of the community, as a brother, as a father, as a friend of the community. That he reveled in, that he enjoyed. When he was with these people, he was just one of them, just an ordinary person with them. He didn't think of self as a priest, as a teacher, as a big time director of so and so institutes. And that was why, when we stop mourning, when we stop hurling our accusations rightfully at the government, we will celebrate his life. We will celebrate his life as something that this nation should be proud of, that this be proud of, that this nation needs. And that celebration of Stan Swamy's life and his times and his work will be a challenge to the government, will be a mirror to the government.
When was the last time that you heard from Father Swamy? Was it before he went to the prison or after he
No,
went there?
I had met him, I think, 2.5 years ago, before COVID took over, in his home in Ranchi, in Ranchi. But I had heard from him through Father Xavier. We were hearing almost every day, as long as he was sending his messages to Father Xavier, who would then transmit it to all his friends and to the media, as a matter of fact. So when did I hear from him last? Maybe just before he took seriously ill.
So, I mean, what could you tell us? Could you share with us what he had talked about? Anything that can be
No,
shared?
but yeah, I was just writing it down, and let me just share it with you. Half a second, please. Give me half a
Yes, sir.
second. I just sort of wrote it down, what he had sent to all of us, because even as we moved, we remember. Apart from the fact that he said, even in the jail, a free bird sings. He had said this. One second. Half a second, please.
Yes.
You know, uh, when he was in jail, I mean, I'm trying to recall the exact words. I can't find the file because of this internet business. But what he had said was that he was innocent. He had said that repeatedly. I'm innocent. And I'm here in jail, and we all know what is the motive of the government. We all know what the government is about, what they are trying to do. But how can they silence the voices? How can they silence dissent? How can they silence the voice of the people?
Right.
We are truthful, unafraid and independent because of you. Now you can help our reporting from the ground. Go to thequint.com, click Become a Member tab, choose a plan and pay. Because the truth is worth it.